Ayo, welcome back. This is Ty Ty. We about to break down the most universal hip hop chain that you could find on the internet to date. Let's go. All right, so before we get to it, this is going to be a two-part video. So today I'm going to be breaking down the chain, and then next week I'm going to be breaking down all the different effect sins that I have built into this. This is really where you get a lot of your versatility. You are going to get clean, crisp, present, anything that you want from this vocal chain, you can do it. It's highly controlled, and it's just going to make the mixing process extremely easy for you. Let's go. All right, so what we got here is my verse on a song that's getting ready to come out for a project with the homie ATG. I ain't going to show off much of his, but give you a little taste, and then we'll go ahead and break it down.
I ain't tryna maintain, I pull up in a range, I got 6 bitches, they clean my chain. Hold up on a dick, I take it to the rodeo.
I got my lead vox here. This is all my lead vocals, everything. So what we got going on is I have a high pass at 97 on this. Typically, I'm starting a little bit higher and then, you know, bringing it down to fit when I go to mix. Now you can start higher, start lower, but either way, that's something you're going to want to adjust per song. And then typically too, you know, you have some mud in the 250 to 500 range. You're going to need to cut that out. And then moving up from there, you know, you kind of want to make some adjustments in the mids, upper mids. You can get some harshness going on and just kind of smooths it out. But I got a little bump down here, 1 1/4 dB at the 1300 range. And I'm cutting out some sibilance, basically 4K range, just under at 2.5 dB. This is a little thing I got here in case I want a little attitude added to it. A little bump at the 6K range can really just add some punchiness to your vocals. And then up here I have a high shelf at the 1100 range at about 4 dB. A lot of times I'll start at 5 and then you kind of just narrow it in from there. But I'm going to turn all these off and then just kind of let you hear what it sounds like as it goes. All right, so this is with nothing.
I ain't tryna maintain, I pull up in a range, I got 6 bitches, they clean my chain.
So it sounds a bit muddy. So let's engage the EQ.
I ain't tryna maintain, I pull up in a range, I got 6 bitches, they clean my chain.
Big difference on that. So then moving on from there, I got my de-esser. Basically, that's at the 5500 range, and it's taking out maybe 3 dB of the S's and T's.
I ain't tryna maintain, I pull up in a range, I got 6 bitches, they clean my chain. Hold up on a dick, I take it to the rodeo. Wanna talk shit, better check my folio.
So kind of cleans it up a little bit more there. And then moving on, I have a 1176. This is the Rev E from UAD. Absolutely love this.
I ain't tryna maintain, I pull up in a range, I got 6 bitches, they clean my chain. Hold up on a dick, I take it to the rodeo. Wanna talk shit, better check my folio.
So I got it basically turned down a little bit on this just so it fits in the mix a little bit better. You know, because you kind of got to control some of the stuff that's going on. So I have my release as fast as it'll go, just make it present. And then I have my attack a little over the 3 mark, so it's on a little bit on the slower side. And then my goal is to hit anywhere from 5 to 7 dB.
I ain't tryna maintain, I pull up in a range, I got 6 bitches, they clean my chain. Hold up on a dick, I take it to the rodeo. Wanna talk shit, better check my folio.
So then moving on from there, a classic, but I love it. I have my Oxford inflator, so without it.
I ain't tryna maintain, I pull up in a range, I got 6
Now with it.
they clean my chain. Hold up on a dick, I take it to the rodeo. Wanna talk shit, better check my folio. I ain't tryna maintain, I pull up in a range, I got 6 bitches, they clean my chain.
So you see how it just kind of brings everything to life just a little bit more. But then with my meta flanger, you know, nothing too crazy going on, just a little bit of movement.
I ain't tryna maintain, I pull up in a range, I got 6 bitches, they clean my chain. How up on a dick, I take it to the rodeo. Wanna talk shit, better check my folio.
So it does. I really like the bit of movement that you can get from a flanger. And then moving on, I have Soothe just to kind of take some harshness out. And I only have it at a mix down here of 35%. And this can vary depending on you. But I noticed when I first got Soothe, I was definitely overdoing it. And it was kind of taking away some of the clarity, some of the quality. So I got a boost up here at 5K. Kind of another way of de-essing up here at the 9,000 range. And then so without it,
I ain't tryna maintain, I pull up in a range, I got 6 bitches.
now with it,
I ain't tryna maintain, I pull up in a range, I got 6 bitches, they clean my chain. How up on a dick, I take it to the rodeo.
so it does. It just kind of smooths it out a little bit. Now this is my pride and joy on this right here. I am basically kind of controlling everything. I got my lows all pulled out. You're not going to be using those anyway on vocals. And basically, I have my mids contained just a little bit, and then you can really tell this controls the top end. So let me play it with it. Well, without it first.
Pull up in a range, I got 6 bitches, they clean my chain. How up on a dick, I take it to the rodeo. Wanna talk shit, better check my folio. I ain't tryna maintain, I pull up in a range, I got 6 bitches, they clean my chain. How up on a dick, I take it to the rodeo. Wanna talk shit, better check my folio.
So you see how much life that really brings to it. So what I got going on is I have my low set to 105, my mid is in the 1300 range, and my high is at 8100. So now that can vary. So for example, let me just show you this real quick. So say I was to boost this up to 9500.
I ain't tryna maintain, I pull up in a range, I got 6 bitches, they clean my chain. How up on a dick, I take it to the rodeo. Wanna talk shit, better check my folio.
So it does depend on the exact track that you're doing, but I liked on this just a little smokier vibe. So if you want to kind of polish that top end a little bit more, make it a little bit brighter, kind of bump that high end up. And then what you can do here to get it to shine through a bit more is watch this.
I ain't tryna maintain, I pull up in a range, I got 6 bitches, they clean my chain. How up on a dick, I take it to the rodeo. Wanna talk shit, better check my folio.
So that's a bit more than I originally had it. I had it at 8.4, we bumped it up to 9.4 after bringing it down, and you can just really see that it just really controlled it. So then kind of also over here to kind of take care of like some of the honky, annoying sounds. Got a little compression going on just to kind of take some of that out. So I will say this. This is a very powerful plugin, and you can easily overdo it. So you don't want the mids going super crazy. I don't have a very deep range here. It's just kind of
I ain't tryna maintain, I pull
little
up
gentle.
in a range, I got 6 bitches.
Now when it comes up here, I do extend the ranges just a little bit more, because I've noticed if the range is a little more shallow and it's just smacking it, it does sound squashed and kind of dead. So one thing that you can do is when it comes to kind of setting in the upper ranges, if it's sounding a little funky, instead of compressing more or letting off of the compression, just kind of expand that range and see what you can get out of it. Just recently downloaded this, heard a lot about it, the L Juan instead of the L1, and it's a free plugin. I talked about it in my plugin video a couple weeks ago, but so without it,
I ain't tryna maintain, I pull up in a range, I got 6 bitches, they clean.
now with it,
I ain't tryna maintain, I pull up in a range, I got 6 bitches, they clean my chain. How up on a dick, I take it to the rodeo.
so what I find with this is I'm just getting a little bit more crunch, and I'm kind of bringing my ceiling down with it. That way I'm keeping kind of the same loudness. I have the release over to auto, and then I had seen some things where people had other settings going on with this, and I couldn't figure out how to find it. But you go ahead and click the cornef, or however you say that, and you can kind of change your shapes. So I have mine set to punchy and hyped, and it makes a big difference. So let me set it to bypass.
I ain't tryna maintain, I pull up in a range, I got 6 bitches, they clean my chain. How I wanna dick, I take it to the rodeo. Wanna talk shit, better check my folio. I ain't tryna maintain, I pull up in a range, I got 6 bitches, they clean my chain.
So this is what I'm talking about with variety. You know, every vocal you need solid EQ, solid compression. Effects are cool, but if you don't have the core of your mix done and done properly, you're gonna regret it. Like, you're gonna pull up to a party and like, yo, put on that new track, blah blah, and it just sound like dog shit. Like, there ain't no other way around it. But so then moving on from there, I have my high end. So with this, let me turn this off real quick.
I ain't tryna maintain, I pull up in a range, I got 6 bitches, they clean my chain. How I wanna dick, I take it to the rodeo. Wanna talk shit, better check my folio.
So you can really see a big difference here. So what I got going on is, let me turn all of these off. So, actually I did something a little bit different here, but I'll go ahead and show you this too. So with the Kive Audio, the N Fusion, it's got the Neve and then the SSL kind of all combined. You know, I'm bumping up on the red saturation here. I have a boost at 24K and it's at 4 dB. And then I added a bit of width up here, and then you can kind of select the range. So that's kind of more in the mids. But it just kind of, to me, it added some weight. I really liked how that sounded, so take it off, and then I'll put it back on. This plugin is pretty subtle, but it does make a big difference, and I like it for adding the weight.
I ain't tryna maintain, I pull up in a range, I got 6 bitches, they clean my chain. How I wanna dick, I take it to the rodeo.
So it definitely does add some weight there. So then I have my black box. Absolutely love this plugin. So what I got going on is it's not saturating too crazy. You know, I have 54%, and then I brought this one down to 40, and that's about it. But I'm running it on the mids and the sides. So basically, you know, you can disconnect these and saturate them separately. I didn't do that on this song. I didn't really feel I needed to, but let's go ahead and play it without it.
I ain't tryna maintain, I pull up in a range, I got 6 bitches, they clean my chain. How I wanna dick, I take it to the rodeo. Wanna talk shit, better check my folio.
So it does. This has a little bit of character to it, and then this is the J37 I was talking about. I have the high pass bumped up to what, 32.9, and that's about the only thing that I have switched. The formula is at the 815. The speed is at the 15 feet per second, whatever that stands for.
I ain't tryna maintain, I pull up in a range, I got 6 bitches, they clean my chain. How I wanna dick, I take it to the rodeo. Wanna talk shit, better check my folio.
So the point with this chain for my high end is simply to bring up my high end, bring that new, modern, crispy, sizzly high end. Like, it's just it's a beautiful sound, and anybody you listen to, they got it going on. So, you know, with that being said, you can really boost everything and make it sound way too bright because you're running this parallel through a send, and then you just kind of feed it in from there, and you can see I don't have much fed in. So then I felt personally with this song I was lacking a little bit of presence, so instead of going back in and kind of re-EQing, I just went ahead and boosted up some presence here, a little bit of attitude, and then these were all left from the stock male setting. So without it,
I ain't tryna maintain, I pull up in a range.
now with it,
I ain't tryna maintain, I pull up in a range, I got 6 bitches, they clean my chain.
And you can really notice that when the actual beat is playing, it just really punches through just a little bit harder. So this is what it sounds like, and it's going to be a little bit loud, fully on 0, and it's just bright as shit. It's a bit much, so that's why you only feed in just a little bit.
I ain't tryna maintain, I pull up in a range.
It's too bright, so you just feed in a bit. My goal when I'm doing this is to set it to 0, overdo it, and then just kind of bring it up exactly where it needs to be. So then moving on from there, I'm running my parallel compression. So what I'm using, and I have a couple other things, but my main go-to is my VCA compressor. A lot of times I'll use this or an LA2A, and that's why I have them both in there. This is just the kind of experimental stuff, just to kind of add a little bit more grit by adding a limiter, or this Kramer. You can kind of turn it into a sound box by kind of turning everything off. But I'll show you what that sounds like in a minute, even though I didn't use it. So what I'm doing on this is just way too much compression on everything. Hopefully this isn't too loud.
I ain't tryna maintain, I pull up in a range, I got 6 bitches, they clean my chain. How I wanna dick, I take it to the road.
So actually on this specific song, I didn't really over compress it and then fed it in. It sounded better to me, actually. Kind of a normal range of compression.
I ain't tryna maintain, I pull up in a range, I got 6 bitches, they clean my chain.
But I also like the sound that you get from this compressor. It is a tube compressor emulation. And, you got a drive knob down here too to add some more grit, some more sound like that. But I didn't need it on this track. But like I said, it's all about options. Keeping a select group of tools, but you can also have a lot of variance in between each one of those tools. So I do have my ratio up here set to 10 to 1, and a lot of times I would normally be smacking it. It just sound a little bit better, lighter on this track. So then let's play it without it.
I ain't tryna maintain, I pull up in a range, I got 6 bitches, they clean my chain. How I wanna dick, I take it to the rodeo. Wanna talk shit, better check my folio.
So you see the difference that makes. So just as a little extra here, so this is what the Kramer as a sound box would add to it.
I ain't tryna maintain, I pull up in a range, I got 6 bitches, they clean my chain. How I wanna dick, I take it to the rodeo. Wanna talk shit, better check my folio.
So on certain things, that would be really cool. And then everything after that runs into my master fader. But I hope I could help y'all and give you some tips. But like I said, next week I'll be breaking down the effects and really showing you where I'm getting my sauce from. But if you want, hit me up on IG or hit me in the comments below if you'd like to buy this. I sell my vocal chains for $15 a piece. I'm not trying to make it rich off of a vocal chain, but there is a lot of work that goes into it, a lot of trial and error. But I'm very, very confident that this chain will work for anyone. Because like I said, with what I've showed you so far, it's got your core essentials of compression, EQ, just really cleaning up, getting everything nice and solid. So you could make a completely different genre outside of hip hop and this still be a very magical chain. But as I always say, let's build together, grow together. This is Ty Ty bringing you radio quality music from home. I'm going to see you next week. Peace.